AI make us all creative geniuses? Or will it automate away our deepest skills? That's a question we're definitely exploring today. Because, look, if you thought AI was just hype, well, think again. The pace of advancement right now, it isn't just rapid, it's profoundly changing entire industries. Everything from how we code to how we create music, and even the, high-stakes strategies of the biggest tech players out there. So our mission in this deep dive is really to distill the crucial insights. We've looked at a collection of sources covering these latest, really significant shifts in AI. Specifically, we're going to unpack three main areas today. First, how AI is fundamentally changing the world of coding. Then, we'll pivot a bit, look at how it's revolutionizing music creation and transcription. And finally, we'll dive into that strategic chess match being played out by the big guys like Apple and Meta.
Yeah, and what's truly fascinating here, I think, is that these aren't just minor updates we're talking about, not just small improvements. These are developments that signal, significant underlying transformations, how we interact with tech, how whole industries operate. It's really crucial to pay attention to the patterns emerging because they really hint at what's coming next, not just for tech, but, well, for all of us.
Okay, so where do we start? Where are we seeing this profound change really taking hold?
Well, one area experiencing a huge shift is coding itself. And a company really leading that charge seems to be Cursor. You might know them maybe as the viral AI coding editor.
Right.
But the biggest news right now is their new web app.
Right.
And that feels like a significant step beyond their core IDE, right? Their integrated development environment. So my question is, what does having this in your browser, even on mobile, what does that really change for developers on the ground? Well, the head of product engineering there put it pretty well. He said it just removes friction. Historically, using these powerful coding tools, it meant you were kind of tethered, right, to a specific desktop setup. Now you can send natural language requests, just type what you want from any browser, assign tasks like write this feature or fix this bug, and you can monitor these background agents. Think of them like autonomous little assistants you set loose on a problem.
Okay.
You can see their progress, merge the completed changes right into your code. It's all about making AI help feel seamless, like it's always there.
And it's more than just the web app, too. Cursor's been strategically expanding. I remember back in May, they launched those background agents. You mentioned these AI systems solving coding tasks autonomously without needing constant watching.
Exactly.
Then in June, they integrated with Slack, so you can assign tasks just by tagging at Cursor. A bit like Cognition's Devon agent operates.
Precisely. It's about integrating into existing workflows.
Now, okay, this is where it gets really interesting, I think, on the business side. Any sphere that's the company behind Cursor, they recently announced they've crossed, get this, $500 million in annualized recurring revenue.
Wow.
$500 million. Mostly from monthly subscriptions. And apparently, Cursor is now used by over half of the Fortune 500. We're talking NVIDIA, Uber, Adobe. What does that kind of adoption signal, for the a developer tools market?
Well, that $500 million ARR, it's not just a big number, right?
Mm-hmm.
It signals a real shift. Businesses are investing differently in developer tools now, moving from maybe traditional IDEs towards these AI-first platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And this growth, it's not accidental. It ties right back to their commitment to avoiding what they call demoware.
Ah, right. Stuff that looks good but falls apart.
Exactly.
Mm.
Those AI products that look amazing in a demo but fail in practice.
Yeah.
They specifically waited, they said, for AI reasoning models to get good enough to make these coding agents actually useful. And Anysphere CEO Michael Truhl, he made a pretty bold prediction.
Oh, yeah.
He expects AI coding agents to handle at least 20% of a software engineer's work by 2026.
20% by 2026. Wow. Let's just pause on that. That's not incremental at all, is
Not
it?
even close. That's transformative.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener, if you're a developer? It sounds like practical utility, maybe a new kind of engineering role emerging.
That seems to be the idea. The system's designed for a smooth transition. An agent takes a first crack at a task. If it gets stuck, you can jump straight into the IDE and pick up exactly where the AI left off, seamlessly.
Okay.
Plus, each agent task gets a unique shareable link, so team collaboration becomes much, much easier.
So it sounds like it's really about making your workflow way more efficient rather than, replacing the developer entirely.
For now, yes. Augmentation seems to be the key word.
Okay. So while Cursor is about augmenting the creator of technology, what about tech augmenting the creative? From optimizing how we build software, AI is also, striking a new chord in creativity, specifically music. Imagine like an AI-powered Shazam for sheet music. That's basically what Songscription launched.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a new company, automates transcription, audio files straight to sheet music, supposedly in minutes, and it operates on a freemium model.
Freemium, okay.
And Andrew Carlin's the CEO. He shared this really inspiring vision that kind of brings it home. He pictures a high school band teacher, maybe in rural Nebraska, getting custom-arranged sheet music, like specifically for the instruments they have in their band and tailored to each student's skill level, making playing music just more enjoyable for everyone. What's the potential impact of a tool like that on music education accessibility?
Well, it's not just convenience, is it? It highlights this growing trend where AI tools can democratize really complex creative skills.
Yeah.
Think about aspiring musicians or educators, hobbyists, maybe without formal training. This kind of levels the playing field.
Right.
It makes music creation, arrangement, much more accessible than it used to be when you need specific skills or, frankly, a lot of resources. At launch, Songscription can transcribe several instruments.
Yeah.
Piano seems to be the most reliable right now.
Okay.
And for people who maybe don't read sheet music, it also generates a piano roll. That's like a visual map of the notes.
Ah, useful.
And yeah, you mentioned it. You can transcribe directly from YouTube links, which is pretty neat.
Yeah.
Looking ahead, they hope to add things like guitar tabs, full band arrangements.
That would be huge for bands. Now, one interesting point Carlin's brought up was the legal side, this gray area around copyrighted material and transcription.
Always tricky.
Yeah. He noted the field's evolving, and recent court decisions seem to be perhaps favoring tech companies. Though it's still shaking out, he did clarify, users have to check a box saying they have the rights to transcribe a file.
Right.
But he also mentioned it helps music learners, who are generally allowed to transcribe by ear anyway. Still, couldn't this stir up trouble with the traditional music industry, given their history with, digital disruption?
Oh, it's an ongoing tension, for sure. But Songscription's positioning is quite clever here. They're very clear. They're not creating new AI-generated music.
Ah, okay. Distinction.
Exactly. They position themselves as augmented music notation software. It speeds up the human process of transcription. And their training data approach is interesting, too. It's a mix. Some shared or sold performances, some public domain sheet music. But the majority, they say, is actually synthetic data.
Synthetic? How does that work?
Well, they basically convert sheet music into audio, and then they mess with it, add background noise, reverb, things like that, to simulate real-world recording conditions.
Ah, that's smart.
It's a clever way to build a robust model without maybe wading too deep into copyrighted real-world audio issues.
And the company's moving fast, too. Founded just 7 months ago.
7 months, yeah.
Already raised pre-seed money from Reach Capital, participating in Stanford's StartX Accelerator. That's pretty rapid validation, isn't it, for such a young company?
Absolutely. Shows there's perceived value and maybe a significant market need there.
Okay, now let's shift gears. Let's look at the giants, the biggest players in tech, and this strategic chess match unfolding between them. First up, Apple. According to Bloomberg, Apple is reportedly considering using AI models from OpenAI and Anthropic to power the next version of Siri, rather than relying only on their own in-house tech. What does that tell us about Apple's position in the AI race?
Well, you need a bit of context there. Apple does have its own internal project called LLM Siri, using its own models.
Yeah, right.
But the report suggests they've run into technical challenges, big ones, apparently. It's forced a delay for this AI-enabled Siri. Originally maybe 2025, now looking more like 2026, perhaps even later.
Ooh.
Yeah. And this has fed into this perception, that Apple's maybe fallen a bit behind in the AI race compared to Google, OpenAI, Anthropic, others. So considering third-party models, it speaks volumes, really, about the sheer cost and complexity of building these cutting-edge foundational models. It suggests that even a giant like Apple might find it more strategic to integrate the best available solutions, rather than trying to build absolutely everything themselves. It sort of redefines core competency in the AI age, doesn't it?
And just to be clear, we're not talking about Siri just like calling ChatGPT for hard questions sometimes.
That would.
The report suggests something much deeper, a fundamental integration, maybe a real shift in Apple's whole approach to its core AI assistant.
Exactly. A deeper partnership, potentially. Now let's swing over to Meta. While Apple seems to be exploring integration, Mark Zuckerberg is doing something, well, pretty radical. He's restructuring Meta's entire AI effort, centering everything around this hugely ambitious goal of building superintelligence.
Superintelligence, wow.
Yeah. All AI teams at Meta now fall under this new umbrella group. Meta Superintelligence Labs.
Yes.
That's a massive bet on owning what comes next, right? The next computing platform.
And he's bringing in some serious heavy hitters to lead it. Alexander Wang, former CEO of Scale AI, the data labeling startup. He's now Chief AI Officer, leading this new group.
Big hire.
And Nat Friedman, former CEO of GitHub, he's overseeing AI products and applied research. That's a powerhouse lineup.
Yeah,
Really shows the scale of their ambition.
it absolutely does.
Yeah.
And this aggressive push, it's all part of Zuckerberg's strategy to get ahead in the race for AGI, artificial general intelligence. It includes that huge $14.3 billion investment in Scale AI, which is how Wang came over.
Ah, okay.
And Meta's also been successfully poaching talent. They've lured 11 new AI researchers from competitors, including some previously unreported hires like Pei Sun from Google DeepMind and Joel Pobar from Anthropic.
Pulling talent directly from the rivals.
Exactly. That kind of talent acquisition really underscores just how high the stakes are in this race. It's intense.
It really is. It's incredible to think about the breadth of what we've just covered, isn't it? From AI automating chunks of code to composing music or transcribing it, and then these monumental strategic shifts at giants like Apple and Meta. We've seen such diverse applications. So as you, the listener, kind of process all this, what do these varied developments really mean for the future of work, creativity, technology itself?
Yeah, when you connect the dots, you see these distinct but maybe complementary approaches emerging. On one hand, you have the focus on practical, friction-reducing tools, like Cursor, right? Designed to make existing workflows better, maybe even create new ones. Then you have something like Songscription, focused more on enabling, augmenting human creativity, democratizing skills. And then, yeah, the monumental race for foundational superintelligence at Meta, or those big strategic integration decisions Apple's weighing. These different paths, they really show the multifaceted nature of where AI is heading right now. And it's also, well, it encourages critical thinking, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About how these different threads might converge or maybe diverge. And that ongoing challenge, how do legal and ethical frameworks even begin to keep pace with this kind of rapid technological change?
That's the million-dollar question, or maybe billion-dollar question now. Okay, so that really wraps up this deep dive into the latest in AI. We've journeyed from coding agents handling real engineering work
Yeah.
to AI transcribing music in minutes, and these huge strategic battles unfolding among the tech titans.
So as AI continues to become, more and more integral to our professional lives or creative lives, here's maybe a final thought for you to ponder. How might your own skills, your own workflows, need to evolve to really harness the power of these advanced tools? And what new opportunities or perhaps challenges might emerge from this landscape that's just accelerating so incredibly fast?